Hey y'all, welcome to day one of Flipped PD, understanding how your own bias impacts your teaching. In this module, what I'm going to show for you guys is a quick way of having your students complete all your content in sequential order. So if you never utilized this feature before, it is wonderful. It holds students accountable. You can actually monitor their progress and be in communication with students and parents, and your admin team should you start to notice that students are falling off like off the bandwagon and we need to kind of reel them in. So the way that you set up a sequential order is in your folder to come over to the options feature and go to student completion. Once you're in student completion, I've already added all these links, so I would have, if I didn't, I would have to click on add requirement, and then it would populate. And once you have added your links, you will direct the students as to like what it is that they have to accomplish. So if it's a link like this article, for instance, it's just a must view the item. If it's a discussion board, you would put post a comment or reply versus they don't just have to view it, they have to actually participate. If you are requiring students to do a sequential order, you got to make sure that this blue checkbox is actually marked, and then you're going to go ahead and hit save. Once you do that, you will see that there's a check mark that shows that each of your assignments is now being monitored and it is up for student completion. When you go through this, you're going to see it from a student perspective. So the first thing that you'll see is you'll see two things. You'll see the instructions for today, which hopefully you clicked on first because you're watching me. And the next step would be you're going to read an article about how should I talk about race in my mostly white classroom. You're going to watch a video, which is like an interview with Beverly Tatum. You're going to learn a little bit about what is implicit bias. Many of you probably have your own idea of what it is, so you'll kind of get a recap of what it actually is, and then you're going to end up participating in a quick little survey test that's put on by Harvard about what is your bias. So you're going to be taking a race bias test, and then you'll get results immediately after. It's about a 10-minute test, and once you get your results, then you'll be able to participate in our implicit bias reflection discussion board. I just want to remind you, and I speak for everybody, when we talk about bias, it can kind of get to be very uncomfortable because some of us are in maybe a denial. We don't want to have a particular bias, but if you do end up having results that you don't think are necessarily accurate, that's completely okay. Just because you may have some sort of bias doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a racist. But what we want to do is we want to really connect and understand that we do have bias, and how does understanding that make our classroom safer? How does that make us better people? How does that make us a better community? So I hope that you get some wonderful takeaways from today's professional development. Good luck and have fun.